Well, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. Rising Ground Church here. Man, I'm jumping right in real quick, man. Hope y'all can don't be distracted by the noise. I got my blinkers going on because I had to pull over, and then all of this traffic is kind of loud. But I'm gonna get right into it, man. I was just listening to Pastor Jeffrey Johnson on the way to where I'm going, and he was talking about this whole message was about freedom. And he was talking about how, we as Christian people, we as spiritual people, we've been in the part of the church, been a part of God's program for a while, and a lot of us don't seem to make it. We're not passing the course. You know what I mean? The church is it is an institution that you're meant to pass through. He did mention it not being a school, which is not. But in my opinion, it is as well. I remember hearing Bishop McClendon say that, the church should be an organization where you come in and you pass through it and you're equipped and ready for the world. So I like both of these ideas. But I wanted to come in because, when we talk about, one of the things that Pastor Johnson said, he talked about the noise. He gave an illustration of the New Orleans stadium and how it's one of the noisiest stadiums in the NFL, and how it's hard as a player who's not used to it to come in and really be victorious dealing with that kind of situation. So that was I thought that was a pretty cool analogy or example. But specifically, I'm really preaching to myself or talking to myself right now, because we're going through some. It's not treacherous waters, but it's waters, and what's making it treacherous for me is the amount of noise that is there. And as spiritual people, we automatically want to. I believe we're unconsciously taught that we have to, the Bible talks about not putting up a standard, but you really have to take captive these thoughts, take captive these noise, the noise, the mechanism of the mind. But I think the idea really is, man, you can't, because even the example of the stadium. You have this stadium that's filled with all of these people to capacity, and they're really excited about what's going on, and they're very noisy. So as an outsider, you can't stop that. You can't stop people from the amount of noise that they're presenting, that they're yelling, that they're giving off, that's happening. You can't stop it. So what do? You have to learn how to walk through the midst of the noise, through the midst of the mind excursions, man, the mind valleys. You have to learn how to walk through the midst of it without being pulled left or right because of it. There's a book called Of Monkeys and Dragons, and it was Michelle O'Donnell. And one of the things about this book, she talked about being on this path, and on the sides of the path were these monkeys that they tried to, if you veered off to to either side, they would grab hold of you. You know what I mean? They try to get you off whatever course you're actually on. And when you're talking about the dragons, the dragons they weren't on the side of the road. They were literally in the air somewhere, and they would come. You would see them coming towards you from a distance. This big old thing, right? And their job was to distract you to the point where you veered off of the road, man. You veered off of your path, and if you veered off, they would grab you. Either the dragons would swoop down and grab you if you veered off, or the monkeys would pull you off the side of this road. So here you have these things that have their place in your world, whether they're monkeys, whether they're dragons, whether they're a stadium full of noise. And your only responsibility is stay on the path. Stay on stay focused. Don't get distracted by the noise. Don't get so fearful that you start to veer off, that you get pulled all the way off your path, man. So don't try to fight the monkeys. Don't try to fight the dragons. Don't try to silence the noise. You have to learn how to walk through the midst of it on your path in order to be victorious or come out on the other side the way that God intended for you to, to do so. This definitely was for me, man. I'm grateful for this moment that I can just hear what God is saying. I'm thankful for the people that are there, giving you, rooting for you in the way that they do. Maybe it's a word that sparks another word, that sparks another revelation. Maybe it's whatever it is God uses. But the point is, take it. Take the jewel on the path. That's one thing that we have in our book, The Divine Flow. It talks about jewels along the path. There are things along your path that are used to strengthen you, to keep you from veering off, to keep you from being so fearful that you just give up and let the dragon swoop you. I hope it made sense, man. Fill your heart, fill your mind with more of the truth, so it will enable you to walk on your path straight to the finish line, straight to the victory point. Rising Ground Church, this is Pastor Jamal. I will talk to you in a bit. Have a good day. Love you. Peace.